I am put on the stand in a murder trial. I don't know why I'm here. I have no connection to this case. You've never talked to me. Nobody on the fence seems to talk to me since prior to the first trial. So I don't have any idea why I'm here.
Oh, wow.
Do you remember being interviewed on August 9th, 2023?
Aha, impeachment.
That was by a separate law enforcement agency, correct?
FBI.
Two separate law enforcement agents, is that right?
Yes. You threatened to charge me with perjury during our phone call prior to the first trial if I didn't lie on the stand right now.
Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to Buckle Up, It's the Law with Attorney Larry Foreman. Folks, today we are going to do what everybody and their mother were telling me yesterday. Larry, you have to listen to this woman. Larry, you have to do her testimony. Larry, I cannot wait to see how you react to her. Larry. I got you, fam. I got you. We are going to do her right now in two parts. Part 1 and part 2 today is going to be jam-packed with nothing but Officer Kelly Deaver. Deaver. We're about to find out how to pronounce it. Jackson, can you do it? I had a little bit of a preview. All right, let's go. This is all fresh. I have not seen this before. I have no idea what she's about to say. I've heard rumors. I've heard what she's supposed to say and how she's supposed to say it, but now I get to react in real time for you all. Enjoy the ride, because I know I will. Let's go.
Deaver, last name D-E-V-E-R.
And what do you do for a living, President?
I'm a police officer.
Where are you employed?
Boston Police.
How long have you been so employed with the Boston Police Department?
2 years and a little over 2 months.
Where'd you work before that?
I worked for the Canton Police.
Were you a sworn officer at that time?
At what time?
When
I
you
was
worked for the
employed there?
When you were employed by the Canton Police Department?
Yes, I was.
As a sworn police officer?
Yes.
Okay. What was your duty assignment in January of 2022?
I was a patrol officer.
You familiar with...
I can tell she's already like, I do not want to be there. I do not want to testify. I do not want to answer your questions. And this is Jackson's witness. Obviously, it's not. It is, but it's not. It's Jackson's witness because he called her to the stand. It's the defense's case in chief now, but it is not Jackson's witness in the sense of she is a witness for the government. He ripped her away from the government and said, "You are mine." And she doesn't like that.
With the case that's presently before the bench, correct?
In some capacity, yes.
Commonwealth versus Karen Reed.
Yes.
All right. Did you ever prepare any kind of report based on any of your conduct or your connection with this case, if there was any connection with this case, while you were a Canton police officer?
No.
Were you ever interviewed by any member of the Canton Police Department in furtherance of their investigation related to the death of John O'Keefe?
No.
Were you ever interviewed by the Massachusetts State Police?
No.
Let me finish the question. I got to finish the question, then you can answer. It works a little better that way. Were you ever interviewed by any member of the Massachusetts State Police in furtherance of their investigation into the death of John O'Keefe?
No.
Were you ever interviewed by either the Canton Police Department or the Massachusetts State Police with regard to any of your observations on January 28th or January 29th, 2022?
No.
And you never wrote a report about your observations or any observations that you had on
Then what
January
is she doing
28th
there?
or January 29th, 2022, correct?
No.
That was a double negative. Let me try that a different way. Did you ever write a report about your observations related to January 28th, 2022, January 29th, 2022?
No.
Thank you. As a matter of fact, the first time you were ever interviewed in connection with anything having to do with this case or this investigation related to the death of John O'Keefe was by a separate law enforcement agency, not the Massachusetts State Police,
FBI?
not the Canton Police Department, correct?
Yes.
That was in August of 2023, is that right?
Yes.
Do you remember the exact date?
No.
August 9th, 2023, does that sound right? About right?
I know it was the summer of 2023,
Okay.
so...
Do you think it would refresh your recollection to take a look at a report of that interview?
Yes, because I've never seen it before.
Do you have that date in mind?
Yes.
Does that refresh your recollection that it was August 9th, 2023?
Yes.
Okay. I want to direct your attention, Officer Deaver, to January 28th, 2022. Where were you working? What was your duty assignment on that day, January 28th, moving into January 29th?
Well, 3.5 years later, I remember I was on patrol. I don't remember anything further about this night.
Did you work overnight, like a late shift going into the morning of January 29th?
That was my assigned shift, so
Okay.
yes.
Okay. Who else was working with you on that particular day, if you recall?
Sergeant Good, Officer Mullaney, Officer Seraph and Officer Pasquarelli.
And what generally was your assignment when you went into work that night on January 28th?
Patrol.
At some point, either that evening in the early morning hours of January 29th, did you note that a call came in related to a person found in the snow, unresponsive in the snow?
Yes.
Tell me about that. The nature of the call and where were you?
I was in my cruiser. A call came in that said person in a snowbank, something along those lines. Immediately followed by that transmission, my sergeant requested that I come to take over dispatch.
Is that Sergeant Good?
Yes.
Okay. Did you, in fact, respond back to Canton PD to take over dispatch?
Yes, so I was already in the parking lot of the Canton Police while this took place, so I was already at the station.
Did you note whether or not Sergeant Good and or any of the others responded to the location while you stayed back to handle dispatch at the police department?
Yes, that's why I went inside so he could respond.
Were you aware that Sergeant Good, did you have any knowledge at that time that Sergeant Good was familiar with or knew who Brian Albert was?
Objection.
Sustained.
Did you know who Brian Albert was at
No.
that time?
No.
Do you now? At least
Because of
familiar
this
with the
case,
name?
yes.
I spoke over you, I'm so sorry. Based on this case, are you familiar with the name?
The name, yes.
Did you know Kevin Albert?
No. Oh, the detective Kevin Albert. Yes, I did.
Correct. How did you know Kevin Albert?
He was a detective for the Canton Police.
Were you aware of his relationship to Brian Albert at that time?
No.
Are you now aware of his relationship with Brian Albert?
Yes, from the media.
And what is that relationship as you know it?
Sustained.
Did you know Brian Higgins at that time?
Yes, in passing.
I'm not asking if you're social friends, asking if you knew who he was.
Yes.
How'd you know who Brian Higgins was?
He had an office in the Canton Police.
Is he a sworn police officer?
Not for us.
Is he a sworn federal agent?
Yes.
Worked for ATF?
Yes.
Okay. How long had you known and been familiar with Brian Higgins? Say, for instance, by sight, to be able to...
She looks so frustrated. She's like, dude, what do you want from me? Why am I here? I love this. I love this.
recognize who he was?
Sometime during 2020 is when I was probably first familiarized with him, because that's when I was employed with the Canton Police Department first.
Okay. Pass him in the hallways, hi, bye, things like that.
Yes.
Sustained is to form, Mr. Jackson.
Understood. Did you know him by sight?
Yes.
Could you recognize him if you saw him?
2.5 years later, no, but at the time, yes.
I'm not asking you about right now. I'm asking you back in January 2022. Could you recognize him by sight?
Yes.
Did you know who Kenneth Berkowitz was?
Yes.
Who's Kenneth Berkowitz?
He was the chief of the Canton Police.
Obviously very familiar with him. He was your boss, correct?
Yes.
When Sergeant Good instructed you to take over dispatch, explain what that meant.
It meant I walked inside and I sat down in a dispatch room.
Describe the dispatch room. What did that array look like?
There was chairs and computers.
The snarkiness. I love the snarkiness. She's like, oh, I get a chance to mess with him. I walked in and I sat down, and there are computers and chairs. You got any more genius questions, genius? Oh, I'm eating this up. Give me more.
Monitors?
Yes.
Does the dispatch area also have monitors of internal security camera footage?
I know there was camera screens, but I don't know if they were on TVs or computers or where in dispatch they were. I don't recollect where they were or how they would be accessed. They were in the room somewhere. I can't be more specific. I don't remember.
But you do recall seeing that there were monitors that were showing different views of internal security camera footage of Canton PD, correct?
The specifics?
Oh.
No. Were there? Yes.
Oh, I got it now. She was assigned desk duty that evening, so she had eyes on Higgins when Higgy was moving cars around in Canton PD at 4 o'clock in the morning, because she was taken out of her cruiser because Sergeant Good was like, listen, I need you to man dispatch in case calls come in. Oh, they got the dispatch girl.
I don't know what you mean by specifics. I'm asking you, were there monitors that you could look at that showed security camera footage from inside Canton PD, different areas, hallways, corridors, offices, the Sallyport, for instance?
So, 2.5 years since I've...
You keep saying 2.5 years later.
So let her finish her answer and then ask.
Sure.
It's been years since I've been in that room. They were somewhere in the room. Where cameras were in the Canton Police Department, I don't recall. The media's provided me information since this case took place, and I can't speak on what's my recollection and what's been media provided. There are cameras. I don't know where on my memory where they are.
So has the media informed you that there were internal security monitors at the dispatch location?
So the objection is sustained. Next question.
What do you recall from the dispatch room, as you put it? What do you recall being there in terms of monitors?
I remember there was a computer screen that had information about current calls, and then there was a 911 screen next to that. Those are the two computers that I would have been positioned in front of during this time.
As a dispatch officer, by the way, you were a sworn officer at
Yes.
that time, correct? Uniform, badge, gun, the whole works, right?
Yes.
Had you ever been in Sallyport at Canton PD?
Yes.
What's the Sallyport?
A Sallyport is a garage, essentially.
Okay. You were aware that the Sallyport garage had a camera, a security camera?
It would make sense because that's where we bring prisoners to drop them off.
Well, more than just makes sense, I'm asking you, do you recall that it had cameras that serviced the Sallyport garage? Security cameras?
It's where we brought prisoners, so there would be cameras, yes.
Okay, you're saying there would be cameras. I'm asking you, were there cameras?
According to the media, yes. I've seen the footage, so yes, there were cameras.
All right, so hold on. So I'm going to strike the officer. You have to answer the question based on your own independent methods. You can't reference what you know from the media.
What the hell? To the judge! To the judge, she sighed like that, and Bev is like just taking it on the chin. Are you kidding me? Any judge in the universe would be like, I'm sorry, did you just sigh at me? But Bev has no self-respect for herself because she realizes the level that she had to stoop to in order to protect the Alberts, and she hates herself for it. So when she's disrespected by a witness openly, unapologetically, all this animosity that Deaver has towards Jackson is being redirected towards Bev. And Bev is just like, hit me again. What?
All right. There were cameras in the Sallyport.
There you go.
Deaver,
Good girl.
will you be here today?
I have no relation to this case,
I
so
didn't ask you that. I asked you if you want to be here today.
Objection. This isn't direct.
So it's your witness.
I understand.
She can, no comments, just questions. Not, I understand that.
Do you want to be here today, ma'am?
I am put on the stand in a murder trial. I don't know why I'm here. I have no connection to this case.
You have no idea why you're here?
You've never talked to me. Nobody on the fence seems talked to me since prior to the first trial. So I don't have any idea why I'm here.
Oh, wow.
No clue whatsoever, as you sit here, why you might have been called to the stand.
No.
Are you uncomfortable testifying?
No, it's part of my job.
You're a professional police officer, correct?
Correct.
That means you're a professional witness to a certain degree, correct?
In the crimes that I've gone on the stand before, yes, I have been.
And you understand the oath?
Yes, I do.
What is that oath?
The oath is to tell the truth.
The whole truth and nothing but the truth, correct?
Objection.
What? Wait. How can you object to testify the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Objection. We're lying here, Your Honor. Sustained. Lies are permitted, Mr. Jackson. You know this. What?
Is there more to that oath when you raise your right hand as a witness?
I'm objecting.
So I'm going to see it side by side.
What on earth is
One
happening?
of the cameras, one of the monitors that you had access to back on January 29th did show the footage from, or did it show the footage from that, one of the other Sallyport garage cameras?
Can you rephrase the question?
Sure, it was a little bit clunky on my part. Did one of the monitors that you looked at, that you had access to at the dispatch area, did it show the video footage or the video feed from the Sallyport garage?
So I already said I don't remember where in dispatch the screen with the cameras was. There was a camera in the Sallyport. So if I'm going to make the assumption, then yes, of course. But now that's an assumption.
I'm not asking you for an assumption, ma'am. I'm asking you, did one of the feeds, now we're talking about the camera, the other side of the camera is the feed. Do you recall whether or not there was footage that you could see on a monitor in the dispatch area that showed the Sallyport?
I'm going to go with yes.
Okay.
My clarification.
How long?
So look, I don't know what that means. So what do you mean you're going to go with yes? Is your answer yes?
Yes.
Thank you. What time about did you take over the dispatch desk that morning?
Immediately following when the 911 call came in.
Would have been 6-ish in the morning. Does that sound about right?
Sometime, I would say towards the later of my shift, but it was the middle of winter and dark out, so I don't know if it was 4, 5, 6.
Understood. But it was still dark out.
Yes.
Once you took over the dispatch desk, did you stay there even past your normal shift ending to support the investigation that was ongoing?
Not to support the investigation, I was just on overtime.
Okay. So you stayed past your normal in time of your shift that day.
Yes, on overtime.
You stayed into the afternoon, correct?
I believe the shift ended at 3:45 p.m. for the Canton Police.
But you stayed past your ending shift time, correct?
Objection.
I'm sorry, I'll rephrase it. Did you stay past your ending shift time?
For my regular shift, yes, because I was on overtime on the day shift.
Did you observe anything unusual that stood out in your mind that occurred, pardon me, in the Sallyport while you were on that shift?
So we've discussed this previously. I can't make that statement on the stand because I've been provided information released by the defense that it was not a memory, that it was a distorted memory. Therefore, I can't state it because at this point it would be a lie. I cannot make that statement that you're wanting me to make on the stand because I've advised that that would be a lie.
Wait. Hold on. I had you up until that last statement, Ms. Deaver. You are manning the cameras. You're in dispatch. You are looking at stuff. You have a vague memory of what happened 3.5 years ago. She keeps saying 2.5. It was 3.5. Her math is terrible. It would look better to say 3.5 years. It doesn't matter. She is insistent. You showed me something, Mr. Jackson. I can't testify to what you showed me. But Jackson is not asking her to do that. He's like, look, this is what we have. Do you have an independent memory of this? Yes or no? I'm not asking you to lie. Jackson is about to say, I'm guarantee it. Guarantee it. I would actually bet money right now that that's going to be his next question. Why? Because, again, she is a j'accuse Jackson. She's saying, you gave me stuff and you want me to testify about it and you want me to lie to these jurors and I'm not going to do that. Let's see how Jackson responds.
Ms. Deaver, I've never asked you to make a statement one way or the other on the stand. I'm asking you an open-ended question.
Hold it!
Did
So,
you,
prior to
let me
the
ask the
first-
question. Did you observe something in the Sallyport garage on January 29th, 2022 that you found unusual, that stuck out in your mind?
Given factual information that makes it so I know I did not, no.
So the answer is no.
Correct.
Do you remember being interviewed on August 9th, 2023?
Aha, impeachment.
That was by a separate law enforcement agency, correct?
FBI.
Yes.
Two separate law enforcement agents, is that right?
Yes.
And you were advised during the course of that interview on August 29th of something, correct?
Can you rephrase
I'm sorry,
that?
August 9th.
So what was I advised of? Can you rephrase that?
Sure. Were you advised that lying to those officers would be a crime?
So it was a willing conversation. I've spoken with their legal team. Because of the fact I was providing factual information that showed a statement of mine was a false memory, it was not a lie. Therefore, I made it in good faith, and I retracted given information that it could not be accurate.
Ms. Deaver, did you understand my question?
Yes, I did.
What
you
the
threatened
hell?
to charge me with perjury during our phone call prior to the first trial if I didn't lie on the stand right now.
Whoa!
I did not see
Whoa!
anything. Factually, I've been provided evidence by a timeline that it is not correct.
Ms. Deaver, my question was this.
Wait. Hold on. Time out. Let's listen to that again.
Given information that it could not be accurate.
Ms. Deaver, did you understand my question?
Yes, I did. You threatened to charge me with perjury during our phone call prior to the first trial if I didn't lie on the stand right now.
You threatened to charge me with perjury if I didn't lie again on the stand right now. Lie again? Or actually speak the truth and now your lie is the opposite of what happened and Jackson wants you to tell the truth about what happened, what you said previously, but now because you changed it to a lie, now it's perjury because you changed your testimony. Very clever, Ms. Deaver. Very clever.
Now, I'm telling you, I did not see anything. Factually, I've been provided evidence by a timeline that it is not correct.
Jennifer McCabe's timeline?
My question was this. Were you advised that it was a crime to lie to those law enforcement agents? Yes or no?
No.
They never told you, they never admonished you that it would be a crime to lie to them?
Objection.
Sustained. As to form, Mr. Jackson.
Sure. Did they advise you of anything? Any consequences of lying to them?
So we had a willing conversation.
Yes or no?
I don't recall.
Okay, there's your answer.
You don't recall if they advised you of anything?
No, because it wasn't.
As a trained law enforcement agent,
Go ahead and ask a question, but both of you only one at a time, okay?
as a trained law enforcement officer, are you aware that it's a crime to lie to certain other law enforcement agents?
When you have intent to lie, yes.
Okay. So you knew that when you spoke to these law enforcement officers, correct?
Yes.
Did you tell these law enforcement officers that you, in fact, saw Brian Higgins and Chief Berkowitz go into the Sallyport with the
Objection.
SUV? May I finish my question?
You can finish this question. Go ahead.
Did you tell those law enforcement agents on August 9th, 2023 that you saw Brian Higgins and Chief Berkowitz go into the Sallyport together and alone with the SUV for a wildly long time.
That was my recollection at the time.
So you did say that?
At the time, that is what I recollected.
Okay. You and I spoke along with Mr. Unetti and Ms. Little on the car.
Oh, she is a smoking gun witness, folks. What is a smoking gun witness, you might ask? Let me tell you. So, Ms. Deaver has provided information to the FBI in an interview on August 9, 2023. It was a candid, she's not lying about that. It was a candid conversation, and she recalled a memory. Chief Berkowitz and, was it Sergeant Good, Buchanan, Higgins and Berkowitz go into the Sallyport to be alone with the SUV for an extended period of time. She said that to the FBI agents. Later, she realized, oh, this is really incriminating against Higgins and Berkowitz and the Alberts. I better retract this statement. That's why she's so uncomfortable, because she has to lie about telling the truth previously. That makes so much sense. And Jackson did almost certainly threaten her with perjury if she tries to change her testimony. But let her change the testimony. This is magnificent for the defense. This is absolutely magnificent. I know some people said that Peter Tragos, I think Petey said that this is not good for the defense. I completely disagree. Completely. I think if you look at it from the lens of the jury, they see this woman as a dishonest, manipulative liar. They already trust Jackson. Jackson has a proven track record of providing them with really juicy information. Especially if you remember when Annie and Will, when I went on Will's channel, they told me that when Jackson was questioning one of the witnesses, the jurors were following Jackson like everywhere he went. So that shows already, we know that they have an element of trust towards Alan. And as a result of that, if he puts a witness on the stand and he has obviously threatened her with perjury, they're going to think, well, you must have done something, lady. Otherwise, why else would he? And her attitude, her inability to look at the jury, her staring straight ahead, her cocky, meh, I do what I want attitude. Trust me, the jurors are so put off and turned off by it, it's making their heads spin. Whew, I love this.
Conference call last year sometime. You remember that?
Yes.
Between the time that you were interviewed on August 9th, 2023, and when we spoke sometime in maybe it was April or so of last year, does that sound about right?
Yes.
Did you have any conversation with any other party about your potential involvement in this case?
No.
Did you have a conversation with anybody in the commissioner's office at Boston Police Department?
Not about anything malicious.
I didn't use the word malicious.
Wait, whoa. That's a guilty mind. That's a guilty mind. That's a Jen McCabe. Yeah, we talked. It was nothing nefarious, Dr. Nefario.
I had a conversation, but it was my department saying, regardless of what I need to say on the stand, they support me.
You were asked to go to the commissioner's office, correct?
Yes.
How long had you been on the Boston Police Department at the time that you were invited to go up to Commissioner Michael Cox's office?
It had to have been before the first trial. So, and I know it was when the agency released information to outside people.
That's not my question.
And by the
Okay, so I
way,
don't recall.
she keeps talking first trial. The jurors, we already know that they already know about the first trial, but now it's reinforced 10 times over.
Okay. You don't recall how long you had been on the force, generally, at the time that you were called up to the commissioner's office, on the Boston Police Department?
No.
Was it 5 years, 2 years, 2 months? Give me a ballpark.
So I've been on the department for 2 years and 2 months. I would say somewhere in the range of a year.
Okay. Did you find it unusual would you call yourself a rookie back then?
Yes.
Did you find it unusual that a rookie police officer would be called up to the commissioner's office personally to discuss a matter?
It was a reflection of how good of a leader he is. It was not anything that I found unusual, given the fact he is someone who wanted to show support for his officer.
So all of your I'm guessing all of your training class or all of your entry classes of Boston PD, they've all gone up to the commissioner's office as well?
I don't know anyone else who's been in this particular circumstance.
Do you know anybody else who's been called up to the commissioner's office at your level at the Boston Police Department?
Objection.
Sustained.
She knows or she
Do you know
doesn't
any
know?
of your colleagues with your level of experience that have been called up to the commissioner's office for a specific instance?
Objection.
That's sustained.
Now, when you went up to the commissioner's office, did you respond to his indication that he wanted to see you up in his office?
It wasn't a direct line of contact from him.
Okay. Did you respond? Did you ultimately go? That's what I mean by respond. Did you go to his office?
He's my boss, so yes.
Okay. And who else was in that office?
Me and him. The two of us.
General counsel for the Boston Police Department?
No, it's just me and him.
Did you, during the conversation that we had last year, did you say that general legal counsel for the Boston Police Department was also there?
Objection.
Not during that
Sustained.
conversation. We
Objection.
Next question.
Sure. Was there another time that you went to the commissioner's office where general legal counsel was there?
no.
Have you ever met general legal counsel for the Boston Police Department?
Yes.
Was it in the commissioner's office?
No.
When was it?
During my conversation with the agents.
You took a lawyer with you to talk to this other law enforcement agency?
I'm gonna see you at sidebar.
Oh. Now they know they're FBI agents. Because anytime you hear agent, that's FBI or CIA, which is even worse for the Commonwealth, that there's somebody else sniffing around. Oh my God, this woman is a moron. I love her. Marry me. Sorry, Chandler.
Ms. Deaver, when we left off, I was asking you about the meeting at the commissioner's office. And I want to clear this up. Was general legal counsel in that office or not when you had a meeting with the commissioner, Michael Cox?
No, it was just me and the commissioner.
At some point, did the commissioner say to you that Boston Police Department, insofar as your connection to this case is concerned, Boston Police Department fully supports you?
Yes.
Did he also say,
Sorry, I'm allergic to bullshit.
That's a direct quote, so I can't recollect if he said a direct quote 2 years ago.
a year ago when you talked to us, the defense, did you tell the defense that when you were called up to the commissioner's office, he told you two things? Commissioner Cox told you, number one, the Boston Police Department supports you, and Officer Deaver, do the right thing.
So he said my name correctly. He said Deaver, and
That's my mistake. Let's see, you want me to repeat the question so I get that
So,
right?
Mr. Jackson, let's go ahead and answer, please.
yes, and he said nothing with the intent of guiding me one way or the
I
other.
asked you what his intent was, madam. I asked you what he said.
Answer
to
the
you.
question.
What were his words to you?
That he supports me.
And
Just wanted me to tell the truth up here.
his words were, do the right thing, right?
I don't recall.
How many other times have you testified in a court of law during the course of your job?
2 dozen, 3 dozen.
And
Actually testified probably ballpark a dozen times.
in any of those other cases, has Commissioner Michael Cox called you up to his office to discuss your testimony in any of those cases? Yes or no?
That's not a yes or a no answer.
Well, yes, it actually is, Ms. Dever.
So no comments, okay? Just
What she doesn't understand is that the more dodgy she is, and the more she tries to like dodge the question and to kind of manipulate and say, no, you're asking it incorrectly. This is not what happened. Stop insinuating. Stop trying to. The more she deflects, the more guilty she looks. Because it's like, lady, what are you hiding? Just answer the question.
The question, yes. The implication,
The question is, in any of those, I'm asking you
Yeah.
an open-ended question. In any of those cases, Officer Dever, not including this
Dever.
one, has Commissioner Michael Cox ordered you up to his office to discuss your testimony?
no.
Thank you. Attorney
Wow, she has no idea how bad she looks on the witness stand, and God bless her for it. So we salute you, Officer Deaver, Deviled Eggs, Deaver. We're going to continue with Brennan's cross-examination of this woman this afternoon, this evening. And I will see you all there. Bye, everybody.